Yo, what is going on, guys? Today, we're here to talk about the patch notes for a quick patch that was dropped on September 12th, which was a few days ago. And on top of that, they've already given us a third Muerto times, letting us know what to expect for the next round of patches and fixes that they'll be doing. So sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. Starting off with the patch notes from September 12th, they started off by telling us that they fixed issues with victims having collision issues and not being able to use crawl spaces and things of that sort. This was majorly a hitchhiker thing, where if you set a trap up at the top of a ladder, once a person gets snared, they weren't able to use crawl spaces and wall gaps. But in this patch, they note specifically that this was not the only issue that they were having, so I'm interested to see what other collision issues they were referring to. Next up, they fixed the continue on lobby end screen, making ending matches a little bit more seamless. Basically, all active players had to wait almost a minute when choosing to go to the next match because of the disconnected players were technically still in the lobby, not readied up, forcing us to wait. So hopefully this speeds up the process of matchmaking, getting games done, and moving on to the next game. I actually love how they're trying to make this game a little bit more smoother, considering that day one of TCM was complete hell when we had to wait almost 7 minutes for matchmaking queues. They also fixed the issue with the continue button being missing from custom games. Now, this next patch was a little controversial, as many players think that the game is starting to move into a killer-sided game. They changed the battery match start state, meaning that killers do not have to turn on a car battery, giving killers the generator and car battery being on at the beginning of every match. Now, I'm not sure why they decided to do this, but I'm not really understanding how people are saying that this game is starting to make the killers a little bit OP, when in all actuality, we have Leland Mains literally his stick and Leatherface while he's still in his cutscene as well. We have victims waking up Grandpa before the killers even get out of their cutscene. So I'm not really sure if this is really truly putting killers in an OP state or if it's really just balance thing. For me, in my understanding, it just allows killers to worry about one less thing and they can actually focus on the task at hand and actually utilize Grandpa, feed him, and do the things that they need. I'm not too sure. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now, this next one I'm really not going to take too much time on, but they did make it to where you can only respect characters at the main menu and not in the lobby menu. Once again, making the games run a little bit more smoother and a lot more seamless, allowing smaller lobby times so we don't have to wait on little Timmy who's on TikTok trying to find a perfect Leland build and redo a skill tree. Now, for me, the meat and potatoes of this patch note, man, the bone scraps now have a limit, allowing victims to only pick up 3 per pal. Now, I just want to say thank the Lord and RIP Leland Mains, because my God, I was getting hit with bone scraps back to fucking back. Now, while I do think this is a great patch and an amazing way to take a step forward into balancing things, I think it's inevitable for them to eventually take the bone scrap and the lockpicks and make it to where they aren't 100% success rate when searching for them. Because in my opinion, that will make the survivors take a little bit more time as well, take a little bit more extra precaution when searching for things. From here, let's go ahead and wrap up the patch notes from the 12th and focus on the 3rd edition of the Muerto times. Let's go ahead and start with everything that they have in testing right now. And first, that's going to be an increased cooldown on the abilities of Leland and Connie. While I don't know why Connie is in testing for an increase on her abilities, I would say that she probably needs a rebuild. Look, put it this way. Why does Connie have an ability to pop locks instantly, but she loses stamina? But if we take an athlete like Leland and he hits somebody with a hit stick, why is he able to move freely from a situation and not lose stamina or anything? Not really sure how breaking locks exerts more energies than tackling somebody that's probably 300 pounds, but I mean, I guess that's game logic, right? As well, they are investigating a sissy poison bug where if she hits you, you receive poison damage when you aren't supposed to. So I'm not really sure about that because I've never experienced it, but hey, just something I gotta test as well. Now, everything moving on from this point, I really want to understand what they're talking about. I really do enjoy the game and I have been putting a lot of hours in, but a lot of this stuff is kind of confusing to me. So under investigation, they have hitchhiker traps and ladders, which I did speak about a little bit, which they already said that they were kind of working on. They have stealth balancing and fuse box reset. Now with the stealth balancing, I'm not really too sure what that is, what that might be referring to. Maybe making the victims be a little bit more stealthy, maybe giving them more darker clothing, or maybe giving them darker shades so they can hide better. And with the fuse box reset, I'm not really too sure what that means as well. With things that need more info, stuck spots, and party disbanding. The only thing I can really talk about is the party disbanding, because I know if I was to leave a game prematurely, I would leave my party as well. So I don't think that that's something that should be a thing. But of course, they need more info. These are a lot of things that they're working on. And it seems like the 3rd edition of the Muerto times might be really hitting on some bugs that we probably haven't even noticed. On top of that, I don't know if anybody else has experienced it, but I know something that they will put out 100% in the 4th edition of the Mortal Times is Grandpa not screaming. Now, this was something that probably just happened within the last patch, and I don't think that anybody else has really noticed it because it's quite rare. But the first time we get the Grandpa cutscene and Grandpa's supposed to scream, he won't. So I don't know if anybody else has experienced it. I know that I have, but I know for a fact that's something that's going to be in the 4th edition of Immortal Times. I feel like it's only going to get worse from there. I mean, we might get games where Grandpa don't scream at all. So that's something to definitely watch for. And if you can, as always, make sure you guys report any bugs, any cheaters, any hackers, or anything of that nature. Let's go ahead and continue to make this game more healthy and more smooth when we play it. So that is going to be the quick patch that was dropped on September 12th, as well as the 3rd edition of Immortal Times. I really do appreciate you guys. That's going to be all for today. Really hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's your boy Trey Hefner. I'm out. Peace.